Hi Spidey fans, it's your friendly neighbourhood, the ultimate Spider-Man fan here, and welcome back to yet another video on me reading my epic Marvel Spider-Man PS4 related book, Hostile Takeover. We're continuing with chapter 27 today, and this has got 6 pages in total, so I might just cut it off after about 3 pages. Because I'm going to cut it off if it's long pages. So, yeah. Let's get right into it. So I'll just intro quickly and like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell notification, favourites, and then follow me on Twitter as well. Type in the S and all capitals without spaces, the ultimate Spidey, S-P-I-D. And yeah, let's get right into it. So chapter 27. It was strange to be back at the Bugle while he was in high school. This place had been like a second home to him, a sort of refuge. He was a kid accepted by a dozen extraordinary adults at that. People who were taking risks and defying the odds to get at the truth. They did it because it was good and right, and because they were ambitious and driven and addicted to the adrenaline rush of danger and deadlines. They fueled themselves with burnt coffee and stale donuts and street niches grabbed on the run. Granted, Peter had been doing similar stuff as Spider-Man, but these people were doing it with words and insight and persistence. They didn't have any special powers randomly granted by the universe. They relied on their own grit and determination. He was happy to say hello to everyone on the way in. Ben Rich, Betty Brandt, Robbie Robertson. It was great to see all of them again. At one point he passed a group of reporters gathered around a computer that was playing a live broadcast of Jameson's New York radio station. They all seemed to find it hilarious. Finally he made up with MJ. By her cabal. I've told everyone I'm helping you with a project for your work. She said, so keep your voice down. I don't want Mr. Robertson to know I'm doing research that has anything to do with Fisk. Peter had his own concerns about that, but he had no desire to restart the argument. For now they were focused on the woman who had been of such interest to the Roxxon operatives. They had a photograph of her and they knew her address, and that was it. Based on that information, however, they were able to establish her identity as Laura Ramsey. As Laura Ramsey. Nothing else of interest came up about her. She had no discoverable ties to Roxxon or to Fisk or to anyone else. Either Peter or MJ could identify. Sitting in front of her monitor, they dug around for another half an hour but came up with nothing. I don't get it, Peter said. She seems perfectly ordinary. She's got troubles, and so do a lot of people. Sorry, I thought I read that wrong. There's no reason she'd be of interest to Fisk. What if she isn't? MJ proposed. What if it's someone she's close to? She let her fingers dance along her keyboard for a few minutes, and then she slapped her hand down on the desk. And there it is. Her brother is an assistant district. Assistant district attorney. Peter thought about it. I should be able to say that word. Alright, I said it before. Hang on. My brother is an assistant district attorney. Peter thought about this for a minute. I guess it would be embarrassing for a DA to have a sister with a substance abuse problem, but that's not exactly something you could do to twist this guy around your little finger. Maybe MJ said, but Fisk has always relied heavily on extortion. It could be that this, combined with something else, something we don't know about, is a powerful enough incentive for this DA to play ball. We know he wants to control inside law enforcement. Okay, this is useful, he said, making note of the assistant DA's information, thanks. I've also been doing some digging on Fisk's assistant, Maya Lopez. It's all very interesting. She handed Peter a file. It looks like her father was some kind of operator. First for an organisation out west, then for Fisk. Maybe with Fisk might be more accurate. They seem to have cooperated on a number of occasions, but they had a falling out. Police suspected, though they could never prove that Fisk had Lopez killed after a shipment of guns was seized by the ATF. Fisk might have thought Lopez was cooperating with the feds. Interesting that he took the guy's daughter in, especially since she's deaf. MJ said he isn't exactly known for assisting people out of the goodness of his heart. If he helps someone, it's because he expects to get something out of it. Helping the child of someone who set out to betray him is pretty unexpected. Deaf, Peter said, and he snapped his fingers. That explains why she didn't respond to anything I said. From what I could see, she can read lips. MJ said, your mask is going to be a problem if you won't run into her again. Peter began to leaf through the file. I remember this murder, he said. I was just starting out, and I showed up at the crime scene thinking, honestly, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was 15 years old and figured I could help the cops or something. It was a disaster. Half of them wanted to arrest me, so I took off. But word of my being got around. Jameson tried to float the idea that I'd killed the man and had been spotted in the scene, even though I didn't show up until an hour after the cops. That may have been the first time he started going after me. Not that any of that matters. I'm not so sure. MJ said Lopez worked with Fisk. His daughter works with Fisk. You first encountered the impersonator at a Fisk construction site. Now Jameson's trying to pass off the impersonator as the real thing. What does Jameson have to do? What does Jameson have to do with it? The company that owns his radio station made some bad investments. Fisk bailed them out, but he got a controlling interest. Peter shook his head and whistled. Even so, I don't think Jameson would do this sort of thing for money, let alone dirty money. No, but he might not know where the money's coming from, she replied. Or he may think he's above it all. Maybe, Peter said, though it wouldn't surprise me if he was planning an expose of the people who pay him, as much as he can be a pain in the ass. And you said something else there. You said that was my mistake. As much as he can be a pain in the ass, Jonah is a straight shooter at heart. Spider-Man notwithstanding. In the meantime, none of the. Sorry, I keep on having to swallow Spidey-Fan. Sorry, I've taken wee short breaks. In the meantime, none of this points to a larger goal. Fisk is working on something that's supposed to make him too big to prosecute. There's one more thing. MJ said she pulled up a photograph of a spear. Peter knew it only too well, since he'd been looking at the business end of it just recently. I can't prove for sure that this is the same weapon in your picture, she said, but it sure looks like it could be. It was stolen from a private collector about 15 years ago. Lopez's father was implicated, but never charged. There were later pictures of a similar spear in his New York home. That doesn't seem like a big deal. Peter said maybe he hid it somewhere, but if it was in his possession, it's not so strange it ended up with his daughter. It gets strange though, MJ continued, because Lopez was stabbed to death with a spear in his own home. It was missing from his display case and never recovered. So Maya Lopez was fighting me with the same weapon that was used to kill her father, Peter asked. That's what it looks like, MJ said. Either she's cold as ice or she doesn't know. Peter found the second option more likely. Maya Lopez had fought in passion, but he hadn't had the sense that she was cruel. She blamed him for her father's death, and that meant the spear was a memento, not a trophy. Let's get back to Fisk. He suggested, I still don't see his end game in all this. Hey, Avengers 4 title. Like, I will say, Spy-Fans, before I continue this, like, a lot of people on YouTube are saying that we knew Avengers 4 title after watching Infinity War. It's not just in the book here. We knew it from the movie Infinity War, and there's a trophy on Spider, that trophy on Spider-Man that you get whenever you finish the game, and the game. It was on the game too, and it's in the book as well. We've knew the end game since Infinity War. Probably. I don't know if the word was used in the second Avengers movie. Forget what it was called. I don't even know. But yeah, Endgame. Avengers Endgame. But yeah, let's just continue. Fisk's processes are expansive, not linear. Sorry if I said that wrong, Spike. She said he isn't chasing a single shiny object. He thinks in complex patterns. That means whatever. Hang on here, just to see how many more pages there are here, because I might right, hang on here. That means whatever we're looking at is only part of that pattern. I hate to say it, Peter, but I think you may be giving yourself too much credit. You're thinking, what does Fisk gain? You're asking, what does Fisk gain if people hate Spider-Man? It's more likely he's asked himself what are the sceneries I need to, what are the sceneries I need to succeed. Sorry if I said that wrong, Spy fans again. And just one of them is having a population angry with Spider-Man. She smiled and tilted her head. I haven't crushed your ego, have I? I may recover in time, Peter said distractedly, but keep on crushing, because I like your metaphor. It's like a big spider's web, and if you pull on one thread, you can see what else moves. That wasn't really my metaphor at all, she said, and it may bring us back to the subject of your ego. You're brilliant. You're brilliant, he said, standing up and giving her a quick kiss. Your insightful questions have allowed me to solve the case. Okay, not really, but I do think I have a new angle to work. I'll call you later. A thread in a carpet works just as well. She called after him, just saying. On his way out, Peter passed a group of reporters who were talking about a story that had just come in. Spider-Man had chased off a mugger and then made up with the victim's wallet. Can you believe we used to think that guy was a hero? One of them asked. When he got out on the street, he took his phone and called Yuri Watanabe. Did we ever find out anything about Andy, the victim from the cruise terminal? He asked him. Andy? Oh yeah. I actually kind of forgot about him. She told him to hold on so she could go somewhere private. She had to be careful when discussing anything that involved Fisk. Peter listened for a few minutes to the distant sounds of a police precinct before she was free to talk. Nothing much. She said his record is fairly long, but not remarkable. A lot of petty crime, breaking and entering, mainly nothing violent. It's just a hunch, she said. But can you maybe dig a little deeper? I have a feeling there's something there. We don't have a whole lot of leads, so I want to make sure we exhaust everything we've got. That night he said his brother was shady. Maybe look there. Okay, I'll give it a shot. She said. Anything else? Yeah, he said, I need a home address for someone, and you're not going to like it. He didn't want to break into the east side apartment. That seemed like a bad idea for a guy who was supposed to be doing heroic things. On the other hand, he couldn't just ring the bell and hope to get buzzed in. Showing up at the window while the guy was watching TV would be just as bad. So he picked a compromise. He opened the unlocked window, waited on the outside ledge, but he didn't enter. He was in a sense already there, but he hadn't gone inside. So he hoped that that would come. Right, hang on, my Spidey-Fan, I'm just gonna see how many more pages there are. Okay, hang on here. Right. Okay, Spidey-Fans, that's actually going to be it for this video. The next part might be a bit shorter, because that's actually halfway through. So yeah, other than that, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I will see all you Spidey-Fans, and I will see all you Spidey-Fans in all of my next epic Spidey videos. It's your friendly neighbourhood Spider Cop, over and out. Thwip, 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 thwip.